Ladies and gentlemen, hospitals that are meant to heal, meant to protect life, are increasingly turning into spaces of fear, anger and confrontation. A disturbing incident from Shimla's Indira Gandhi Medical College has once again raised a painful question. Are patients safe inside hospitals, and are doctors safe doing their duty?
ये देखो डॉक्टर यहाँ पे बदतमीजी कर रहे हैं पेशेंट के साथ। लो लड़ाई पे आगे लो, ये देख सकते हैं आप लोग। एक पेशेंट है, ये डॉक्टर बदतमीजी कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे, देख सकते हैं आप लोग। लो 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 देख सकते हैं आप। ये देखो डॉक्टर यहाँ पे बदतमीजी कर रहे हैं पेशेंट के साथ। लो लड़ाई पे आगे लो, ये देख सकते हैं आप लोग।
Look at the visuals on your screen. It's raining punches and kicks between the doctor and patients, not once, repeatedly, inside a hospital ward. No one to separate them. In fact, let's just go big on the visuals once again. No one to separate them as they sparred with each other. Attendants making a meek attempt to stop the patient, at least in the visuals, while the doctors continue. And of course, the patient too continues with his offensive. Important to mention that the cause behind this violent brawl isn't known yet. There are different versions of the patient and the doctor. Police complaints have been filed and Chief Minister has ordered a probe. The big questions: what was the trigger? How did the exchange allow to escalate into a physical brawl? Why didn't the hospital attendants and the staff intervene? But look at these shots. The next shots of mob at the hospital, outside the hospital. If you can get those shots of the people all over, and if you can get that on the screen as well. Soon after, family members and supporters gathered outside the IGMC, raising slogans and demanding the immediate suspension of the accused doctor. A huge security lapse, to say the least. Reacting sharply, Himachal Pradesh Health Minister Colonel Dhani Shandil has called the incident unacceptable and said it violated the core ethics of medical profession. The minister identified the accused as Dr. SAR, a pulmonary medicine specialist, and announced a high-level inquiry. The Health Secretary, IGMC, Medical Superintendent and the Principal have all been summoned to the Secretariat with assurances of strict action after a detailed investigation. Former Chief Minister and Leader of Opposition Jairam Thakur also weighed in, called the incident disturbing and unfortunate, and warning that such episodes erode public trust in government healthcare systems. But even as the investigation unfolds, this incident reveals a larger, more troubling pattern. While the doctor's side of the story is yet to be known, violence and conflict inside hospitals are no longer isolated instances. In fact, if you can just take the graphics of how there have been multiple attacks on doctors across the country. On September 16, 2025, an on-duty doctor was verbally abused and slapped 12 times after a referral dispute involving a critically ill child in Surat. On August 2025, a doctor and two healthcare staff members assaulted by patient attendants inside a community health center in Jammu and Kashmir. On January 24, 2025, resident doctors attacked with rods and sticks by unidentified individuals in Uttar Pradesh. On November 13, 2024, doctors were beaten with belts and rods over non-availability of hospital beds in Indore. From patients alleging abuse to doctors facing brutal attacks, India's hospitals are turning, unfortunately, into zones of violence. Dr. Sulfi Nuhu joins us right now, who's a former state president, IMA Kerala, as well as Sheetal Kapoor, who's a consumer rights activist. Thank you very much, both of you, for joining us. Dr. Sulfi Nuhu, let's just get to you first. I mean, look at the visuals. There may be two versions to this. There may be different versions to this. We don't know what the trigger was. And I've said all of these things. The probe has been ordered. But how can even a situation like this be allowed to escalate in a hospital?
Absolutely. See, thing is, this is not a isolated incident. It's actually it's a tip of the iceberg. Similar incidents have happened in several places across the country. Probably we have got the visuals of the doctor attacking also, but unfortunately, the truth is that. In majority of the situations, doctors are being beaten up and some are killed. You know, even in Kerala, in 2023, one female doctor was stabbed to death. You know, it has also happened similar incidents in many other parts, like in West Bengal, also in similar places. So the thing is, the basic thing is the hospitals must be kept as a like non-attack zone or a non-violent zone or maybe a safe zone. That must be implemented very strongly. You cannot take doctors as soft targets. That's why you say in this footage we can see that the doctor is counterattacking, but unfortunately it's the other way around in majority of the situations. Even during wars, when there is a war going on between two countries, they actually spare the people, the attacking countries, the enemy countries, they spare hospitals. They don't attack hospitals. Now, what happens in India is that unfortunately the people go there. There will be some problems. There is lack of facility. The doctors are not directly responsible for the lack of facilities there. Even for the rush, they are not answerable. But they are being assaulted and some are killed. So there will be some kind of counter attacks. But yeah, I'm not justifying that. Doctors are not for any kind of counter attack or something of that sort. But thing is that there should be strict law against any kind of attack against the not only against doctors, health professionals in Kerala. Even after the death of that lady doctor, there is a very strong law, and in many states there are laws, but unfortunately in there are states in which there are very weak laws against the hospital violence. In all western countries and all developed countries, whatever be the provocation, you cannot
Okay,
attack a health professional. Yeah.
there's no doubt about that. That there is under no circumstances anybody can be attacked. Violence of any sorts is not acceptable anywhere, particularly inside a hospital, particularly with doctors, for sure. That doesn't. That's a given. That's just the obvious. The concern, though, at this point are multiples. And that's what I want to go point by point with you, Dr. Su. Stay with us. Let me also get a response from Sheetal Kapoor. Do you agree with how Dr. Sulfi is looking at this?
We believe that the profession, doctor profession, is a very noble profession, and we look ahead doctors as gods. And any patient which goes to the hospital goes for a trust on the trust basis, and you want relief for your illness. So the standard care we look ahead when we go to any hospital or the doctor. But if there is some kind of negligence which is there, or there is the standard care which we are looking ahead, when in the this particular case where we are seeing the assault which is being done simultaneously, not only by the patient but also by the doctor, this is something which is not acceptable and falls under the the Consumer Protection Act 2019, where it says that a patient is a consumer, and when it is paying for the services and goes to the hospital, so it